Speaking of security, Alex Stamos is the former chief security officer of Facebook who left the company amid the backlash over its role in the 2016 election. Right now, we have a deep dive profile of Stamos up on yahoofinance.com, and it is full of revealing insights and candid answers from Stamos on his time at Facebook. The author of that profile is joining us now, investigative journalist Roger Parloff. Hi, Roger.
Hi, how
Thanks
are you?
for joining us. Great to have you in.
Thank you.
All right. This is a great story. I read it before the show. Really wonderful deep dive. Let's start this way. What do you think are the biggest takeaways for readers, the biggest revelations or surprises that you discovered in talking to Stamos?
He doesn't. I don't. He doesn't think that the Russian. I think he thinks the press is too focused on certain things like Cambridge Analytica, and he feels that where we should be focused is on the hyper-targeting of political ads and how opaque that is. And he really thinks that's a danger to democracy. Journalists can't really examine that. Academics can't examine that. It's all opaque. And he likens it to, it would be as if, you know, a politician did a mailing, a direct mail advertisement to the whole voter population, and each mailing was individual, different. So he says, you know, the opportunity is that the politician might not be two-faced, he'd be 100 million-faced. And we can't test that because nobody has seen all these things. We can't get in there and as journalists or as academics. And he would like to see Congress do something about that. It would really require a change in the privacy laws, so you would need a subpoena or a legislation.
Sure, Roger. I guess I'll offer the pushback in this interview because, you know, I've used Facebook ads before, and everyone talks about hyper-targeting as kind of being a bad thing, but it's no secret that that's how Facebook has made its money. It's something that we all know, and honestly, you could say that there's a very good aspect of it because people don't want ads that don't apply to them. Right? And so what really is the big harm in terms of hyper-targeting?
I don't think he has any problem with non-political ads. I think it's the political ads and the opacity there, where we just don't know what the politician's doing, who he's targeting, and with which messages. So I don't think he has a problem with commercial, conventional ads.
It's the insidiousness of when it's political. Exactly. I want to read you something from your own story that I thought was really interesting. Now, in the story, you say, 3 days after the election, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg made a now infamous impromptu statement at a conference. We all remember this. Personally, I think the idea that fake news on Facebook influenced the election in any way is a pretty crazy idea. He later apologized for saying that. Now, Stamos tells you, Roger, it was clear to me then that he had not been getting briefed on anything we were finding. I read that and thought, yikes. I mean, so how damaging is this for Facebook? Why wasn't Mark Zuckerberg being filled in on what the security team was figuring out?
Well, I think he would say all he knew at that point was a small part of it. He knew about what's the Russian GRU, the military intelligence unit, had hacked into the DNC, and they had also created a phony account, several phony accounts on Facebook, and to sort of point reporters to their own site called DC Leaks that was leaking some of these. So that's all they knew. They didn't know the internet. They didn't know about the troll farm stuff at that point. So it was very limited. I mean, it may sound more dramatic than it was. Okay. And he really doesn't feel that Facebook's role in the hack and leak campaign of the GRU was significant, because the GRU soon started reaching out directly to reporters and to others, saying, look, here, go to this. And then the reporters really went with the story, and the amplification was there. And eventually they took down the Facebook account, but only after the GRU started leaking some emails there. technically at that time, the GRU wasn't violating the terms of service by just saying, recommending that people go to a certain website.
All right, well, it is a very good story, very good investigative work. Thank you, Roger. It's up right now on yahoofinance.com, this profile of Alex Stamos.